Okay, please welcome Arthur.
Hello everyone, this is my Zenith project. As you can see, it's a modern interior render. I made a Blender.
And you are, what elective are you?
And I'm an animation student. So yeah, last year, I think most of you remember I made this render of like an isometric modern house. So yeah, that was kind of like a smaller scale project for explorations. But this year, I decided to go a little bit bigger. So I decided to make like an entire detailed interior in Blender. And yeah, pretty much. I have this video I made showing the process.
My Zenith project is a 3D render of a modern living room interior. I have always wanted to explore photorealism in 3D modeling, and this project was the perfect opportunity for me to do that. To begin, I needed a floor plan and some reference images to model off of. I stumbled upon a website called The House Designers that sells floor plans and has them available to view online, as well as interior shots from various angles. This was perfect, as it provided all the information I needed to create the model so that everything was proportionate and realistic. So, I downloaded everything from the website and imported them into Blender. I first needed to make sure that I was modeling in the correct dimensions, meaning that the measurements of the floor plan were the same as the measurements of Blender. This ensures that lighting is accurate, and that any imported models will have similar sizes, meaning I won't have to scale them that much. From there, I simply outlined the walls of the house and extruded them upwards, creating the base for the room. I then added a ceiling by bridging the top vertices, as well as a floor using the same method. I created the windows by making loop cuts along the walls and punching holes through them. Next, I modeled the window frames and baseboards, which were simple as they're rectangular in shape. With that, the framework was done, and it was time to add materials. Normally, applying materials can be a lengthy process, as you need to reconnect all the nodes in the shader graph. However, I found an add-on called ArthurK that essentially acts as a library of free models and materials that can be imported instantly into Blender. I simply selected an object, clicked a material in the menu, and then it applied itself automatically to the model. Using this feature, I was able to quickly find materials for the walls, floor, and other parts of the room. The next step was to actually build up the interior. The stairs, kitchen island, counter, and cabinets were all modeled by me, as they have simple geometry. However, everything else was far too complex to create in a given time frame, and there's really no need to model them since there are so many assets online. Using ArthurK, I found models that were suitable for the scene and imported them, adjusting their dimensions and materials as needed. I was also simultaneously working on the lighting, which is a key factor in making things look photorealistic. One of the main things I did with the lighting was use the sun position add-on, which allows you to control and customize everything about Blender Sun. This includes its elevation, intensity, radius, rotation, and even time of day. Using this add-on, I was able to quickly find a good sun angle, which contributed heavily to the scene's realism. The other thing I did was add point and spotlights under each light-emitting object, but I made sure not to overdo it since the sun is already so bright. Once the lighting was complete, the scene was finished, and the only thing left to do was render it. When you want to focus on photorealism, Cycles is the preferred render engine, so I used that for my project. I rendered 3 different angles, one looking into the room from the backyard, one looking at the kitchen, and one looking at the room from the foyer. However, the renders were very bright, so I had to fix them in Photoshop. With that, my Zenith was finished.
It's crazy.
Overall, I'm proud of what I was able to accomplish. It was a lengthy process, and I was worried that I wouldn't be able to finish. With that being said, there are things I would change. First of all, I would have liked to make a video with a camera moving around the room. But unfortunately, my scene was very poorly optimized, so it would have taken literal weeks for that to render. Also, the renders still seemed too bright, but I didn't really have time to fix that. Regardless, I'm happy with the result, and I think it's a good final product to end off freestyle.
I just got that model from that magic.
Okay.
Which is pretty good. Alex?
So is this for like an animation or is it for like, showing people how a house can look like if they're selling a house? Like what's gonna be like, what do you use it for?
I think for most people, you would use it for like, trying to like, I guess, visualize a house. Maybe it's up there, you want to like see what the interior looks like. For me, it was just like kind of a personal like passion rather than like, anything just like no purpose for it. Just kind of looks cool. So, yeah. That's you.
What was your favorite part of the process?
I think it was probably actually like finding like a good reference like house, because I think most of it is pretty straightforward, but like finding a very good like reference is like what makes your
Oh, what exactly about like modeling houses and like imitating like realism in like 3D do you like a lot?
I mean, I really like, I guess, for a specific, I really like modern houses in particular. I think they're like, I like the simplicity of them. I feel like if I had to do like a very complicated like Victorian style house, it'd be a lot more painful. But yeah, you can achieve like very like realistic renders, like even like very simple stuff. So I like that. So yeah.
Why did you choose Blender over like other 3D models like this?
So Blender, I think, is a very like simple UI and interface, so I think it's easier to work with. Like I use Maya for my other animations this senior year, so yeah, I think Maya's cool too, but I think Blender just it's a lot more simple and easy to use. Alex?
Would you consider going to like be an architect or something?
Probably not. I just kind of like doing. Well, I really like modeling. I'm not really like designing houses as much. That actually be cool. So yeah, I like the modeling aspect.
Anybody else? Well, thank you very much. Very impressive.